Destiny XYZ is an investment management company that provides public access to private tech markets. We're going to find out how on this episode of Taking Stock.
I dropped out and moved to San Francisco when I was 17.
Okay.
And so I basically grew up in San Francisco, got to experience all of tech. And I was back home in Dallas one day, and my dad said, "What should I invest in?" And it made me really think about, why is there not one place that people can go through their brokerage app and actually have access to top companies like SpaceX and like OpenAI? Why is there not an ETF that does that? And so that was the genesis for Destiny.
And tell me about your mission to empower individuals through technology and AI.
So the idea behind Destiny is to be able to give everyday investors the ability to invest in top private companies before they go public.
Okay.
And so these are the companies that are impacting everyone's daily life. Epic Games, Superhuman, but they have no way of participating until they come and list here. And so that's why we created the Destiny Tech100, meant to be a portfolio of the top 100 private tech companies.
Would you say that's the biggest challenge that Destiny is facing right now when it comes to bridging that gap between the public and private sector?
Yeah, one of the big challenges was actually regulatory. This doesn't really exist. You have ETFs and you have publicly traded companies, and you have private companies and VCs and private markets. And so trying to bridge both of these, we've spent the last 4 years actually working with the SEC, trying to get our first fund, the Destiny Tech100, approved, and actually going through all of those hurdles. How do we create a regulated, registered, listed product that still holds all private companies?
So let's talk about Destiny's branding for a second. DXYZ. Why these initials for Destiny?
As we were looking at Destiny and we saw DXYZ, XYZ to us represents the future.
Yes.
It represents the future of the private markets and the future of the public markets. And so that's what we wanted to bridge.
Yes.
And so for us, DXYZ was very futuristic. It's also that visual representation is how it's going to appear in people's portfolios.
And can you give me some examples of the companies that you work with that are included in Destiny's portfolio?
In our portfolio today, we already have companies like SpaceX, like OpenAI, like Epic Games, and a number of other late-stage venture-backed companies.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.